What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me today for episode number 76 of the Car 5 podcast. You guys know me. I'm your host, Joshua. For today's episode, we're going to be talking about Monterey Car Week and a recap of everything that went on. So if you guys weren't there, I'm here to fill you in. So as usual, everyone, let's go ahead and just dive right into things. All right, everybody. So Car Week 2019, absolutely phenomenal. Before we get into that, if you've never been to Car Week or Monterey Car Week, what is it exactly? Well, it's basically how I would describe it is the Super Bowl of car shows, the NBA championship of car shows, the Masters golf tournament of car shows. There's not a better week for anything car related that you can attend outside of Monterey Car Week. No matter what show it is you go to, whether it's all these really big and actually very nice and well put together car shows, like the international auto shows. I know Geneva is a great auto show, but Monterey Car Week is quite literally from Monday to Sunday in the middle of August, and every single day there's different events going on. There's different drive events. There's different auctions going on. A lot of these car companies, what they do is they'll come to Monterey, California and Carmel, California, and they'll rent literally a house or a spot. And oftentimes that's where you get to see their up-to-date coming cars or what they have coming out before they actually premiere them. So before I let you guys know what I did during Car Week, I'm going to give you a breakdown of each day. So basically Monday and Tuesday, it's more along the lines of everybody's just getting there, setting up, fulfilling all the houses that the companies rent. The shows are starting to get everything together. The auctions are about done, ready to go. So Monday and Tuesday is pretty much the setup days, if you will, or the days of nearing completion of being set up. Now, Wednesday through Sunday, that's when you have car shows actually happening. That's when invitations get set out for guests and car enthusiasts to come to the private homes that these automotive companies rent out to see their latest product. Like I said, there's different shows that go on. My favorite show is on Friday. It's called Quail Motorsports Gathering at the Quail Lodge, which is a golf course and a hotel. Pretty much any car you can think of during Monterey Car Week is there. If your favorite car is a Koenigsegg, you've never seen one, I think I literally may have seen 10 or 11 Koenigsegg's during Car Week. Mixture of Regeras, CCRXs, Aguiras, Aguira Rs, Aguira RSs, the whole lot. If you're a person that likes Bugattis, you want to see a Bugatti EB110, two of them were there. Veyrons were there. Chirons that were there. The brand new Bugatti Centio DC, if I'm saying that correctly, is there. You want to see the crazy new Bentley concept that came out, the EXP 100 GT. That car was even there. So basically, long story short, if you're a car person and you've never been to Car Week, you have to make it at least just once in your life. Just try to go over there. Just one time. Whether it's you have a job and you need to put in vacation time to do it, or you take a trip from elsewhere to come. If you're a car person and cars have a big impact on your life, find a way. Just trust me. Go on Instagram, go on Facebook, go on Google, go on YouTube. Just look up Monterey Car Week. Look up Concours d'Elegance, which is the car show on Sunday. Go ahead and look up Exotics on Broadway, formerly Exotics on Cannery Row, which is on Saturdays now, previously on Fridays. Look up Quail Motorsports Gathering, which is on Fridays. All of these shows will blow your mind. So, in essence, that's what Car Week is. It's the Super Bowl. It's the best of car shows, and it legitimately is a week long. So I want to give you guys a quick little day-by-day of what my experiences was, what I saw, and pretty much what I saw was exciting. So one of the very first days when we got there, I am looking at my phone to reference photos because I have hundreds of them, is I went and stopped by the Porsche. They call it the Porsche Zentrum or Porsche booth, basically. Many of these companies, they don't necessarily rent a house. They will maybe set up literally a small building or tent area where they will set things up. And I'll have pictures for you guys to see as well. But my favorite thing I got to see at the Porsche Zentrum booth is actually the Porsche 911 Speedster that just came out. You guys know the business that I have, tog.com. One thing we do over there is we talk about the latest automotive news and the car news. So it was cool because I remember writing an article about the 911 Speedster and how it's the send-off of the 991 generation, and it's just going to be a heritage car and a collector's car. Well, it was actually there. And it's, it's cool to see pictures of these cars online, and you write articles about them and you read about them and you save them as wallpapers, but to actually see them in person, it's amazing. I gotta tell you, the 911 Speedster is absolutely beautiful. It's beautiful in pictures, but it's even more beautiful when you see it in person. I'm so glad it's equipped with a manual car, and that was a real treat to see the 911 Speedster. Moving on, also another thing really quickly before I get on to the next place I went to, the cool thing about Monterey Car Week is the parking lots. Every single place you go, filled with supercars, hypercars, and classic cars. So I have another picture here, which I'll put up for you guys. But in the parking lot of the Porsche Zentrum booth was a Ferrari F50. So to show you how big of a week this is, yeah, it's kind of a big deal. The next thing I did is I went over and checked over the Bentley house, which I have a very close relationship with Bentley, with merchandising that we do. And one of the coolest things was to see and do is actually I got to meet a gentleman by the name of JP, who is the head of exterior design for Bentley. So my friend, it was phenomenal meeting you. And everything this guy's done in regards to Bentley, he's completely changed the exterior design. The cars are super slim and sporty and sexy, and they look great. And he is the mastermind, this guy JP, behind the Bentley EXP 100 GT. And we'll get to that in just a second. But that's just another one of the things I did. I went and checked out the Bentley house. Depending on the day, if you go earlier in the week, if you don't have passes or you're not invited by Bentley, it is actually free. You can just walk in there and check out the cars. They got a ton of merchandise for sale from Bentley. Of course, you guys know you can come to my site, tog.com, check out the link in bio. But yeah, the Bentley house is another one that was absolutely phenomenal. They're always extravagant and very fancy, very high end. But they had the Speedster there. They had a Mulsanne there. They had not the EXP 100 GT, but it was in the area. They had a GT Continental convertible, or cabriolet, I should say. They had a coupe. They had just any car you can think of. They had those there. I also checked out the Mercedes-Benz building, which is probably the most amazing because Mercedes-Benz never underdoes anything. Every single year, they literally put up a building and tear it back down. And it's not, again, it's a building. Like, it's I don't know how to describe it. It's just a building and it's absolutely massive. And they have every single AMG model car there. Everything from an A-class AMG A35 all the way up to an AMG GTR, G63 wagons, S65s, S63s, E63s, E53s, GLC63, GLC43, GLE63, GLS63, anything you can think of. It's there. I also got to see a preview of the Maybach GLS, which I'm not sure if I'm allowed to talk about or not, but let me tell you this, guys, it's incredible. Just stay tuned into the podcast and check out the Instagram and the Facebook, or look for the TOG article. It's slick. It's pretty impressive. One thing I will tell you guys, it is starting a base price of $200,000, but I cannot technically release the details of that yet because upon being previewed the Maybach GLS, I did sign a waiver saying I would not talk about it, nor would I take any pictures of it, which I did not take any pictures of it, and I technically cannot talk about it. But just so you guys know, the Maybach GLS is real and it does exist. Another cool thing we got to see is a couple McLaren F1s. One of them was an LM. One of them was just a high performance aero down kit, something like that. I'll put it in here, but basically more downforce on the car. Checking out the McLaren booth, there was, oh my God, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Sennas at the McLaren house, which is held at their Bernarda Spa and Lodge in Carmel Valley. Bunch of 720Ss, P1s were there. Although when I went, I wasn't going to be able to attend Saturday, which is when they technically opened up. I was there on Friday, but I did get to see some of the cool cars that were there. So seeing that many Sennas and P1s is always a treat. Now, getting to basically one of my favorite events is Quail, which is on Friday. So now we're leading up to Friday, and it's my favorite event because the event on Sunday, which is called the Concours d'Elegance, it's a great event. absolutely phenomenal cars that are all perfect condition, pre-World War II vehicles, Rolls Royces, Duesenbergs, Bugattis, Bentleys, anything you can, Pierce Arrows are out there, anything you can think of is there. And there is a concept lawn before that where you get to see what cars are coming out and whatnot. But Quail is, I think, becoming more popular because if you're like me and you appreciate kind of more up-to-date, more modern cars, supercars, hypercars, things like that, not necessarily the classics, that's what Quail is. And it's cool because you kind of get to see everything you see online, everything you see, car news, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all these crazy concept cars and multi-million-dollar cars that are coming out. They're all there. They're all at Quail. Now, Quail this year tickets were $650 to get in if you were chosen through the lottery system. But make that a point to try and go see. Because also at Quail, like I was saying, any car you can think of is there. I think it was literally something like 10, 11 Koenigseggs I saw over at the Quail booth. Again, still checking my phone, looking at all the pictures so I don't forget anything. The brand new McLaren GT was there. Concept Audi race cars, and one of them being electric, was over there. The Koenigsegg Jesko was there. That was amazing to see. Checking out Lamborghini, got to see the special Aventador SVJ 63, I believe is what it was called. I don't know the technical name of what that one was, but it was it did have 63 all over the car, so I think that's what it was. Some special Huracans were there. Got to see the brand new De Tomaso P72 that was out there. That thing is, let me tell you, that thing was absolutely incredible. I'm just zooming in on the picture here so I can make sure I can put it up for you guys. It's so amazing to see in person. In my eyes, it really does strike some, what's the word I'm looking for? Inspiration from Spyker and Pagani. It's just an amazing car. It is going to be expensive, around the $800,000 mark. But De Tomaso was making that return. It was cool to write an article about it for TOG, but to actually see it in person was something just out of this world. It was amazing. Saw some Celine S7s that were there and their newer model coming out, the S1s. Also saw the brand new Bugatti Centio Dici. Now, I don't know about it. I don't know. Because when the Chiron first came out, which there is a bunch of Chirons there, by the way, I felt like I was the same as a lot of people, where it took me a little bit of time to really warm up to the Chiron. The Veyron was just so epic in everything that it did. The Veyron looked insane. It sounded insane. The speed was insane. When the Chiron came out, it was just maybe a little bit drastically different than the Veyron, though there was some similarities. A lot of people, and I think myself included, didn't really like the look of it. But as time went on, now I like a Chiron 15 times more than I like a Veyron. Now, the Centio Dici that came out, only 10 of them are being made. I think I just got to warm up to it. Truth be told, I'm struggling with it a little bit. I'm not really a fan of the headlights. I think the front grille's kind of funky. The rear end is great. The side is amazing. But I think how I feel about the Centio Dici is the same way I felt about the Chiron when it first came out. It's going to take me a little bit of time to get used to it. But obviously, I'm going to have a picture here for you guys to see. So just let me know what you think. And then, of course, you can head over to the Instagram and Facebook and check out those pictures as well. Now, after all the Bugattis, again, I had the pleasure of meeting JP, who's the head of exterior design for Bentley, and I got to get a private tour of the Bentley EXP 100 GT, this insane concept car they came out with. Now, this car is not, again, up for production. It's a car of vision, it's a car of concept, it's a car of ideas, and it's just something to, look at a design element from and see, how can we put some heritage in this car to show that, the Bentley is the ultimate GT coupe? How can we relay our sense of design elements and, vision and future and electricity and just where Bentley wants to go as a car company? And that's what they did with the EXP 100 GT. They just expressed their ideas and created it. There's crystal all over inside the car. The interior is insane. Basically, all in all, it was an amazing vehicle to see. It was an amazing vehicle to ride about, and it was an amazing vehicle to see in person. Also got to check out the new Lotus hypercar, the Lotus Evija, and that thing was cool. It's different. It's different. It's kind of cool looking. It's almost like compact. It's a little bit. It's kind of weird to describe. It looks very cool in person. I feel like when you look at pictures of it online, but then you look at it in person, it's not necessarily the same type of feel. It's like I almost felt like it was a different car, but very cool nonetheless. Now keep in mind when I say I got to see these cars, literally got to see them. These cars are not going on or majority of these cars, they're not going on test drives. They're not turning them on and revving them. They're not playing with them. Maybe they'll open doors and whatnot, but these cars literally are just sitting there. So when I say, yeah, we got to see them, like we literally got to see them. And that's it. Getting on, of course, more hypercars you can think of. A lot of Ferraris, P1s, Bugattis, they're all there. Now, the brand new GT500. Oh, my God. Absolutely amazing. I actually was talking to one of the chief engineers of the car while I was there, and I was there with the business, and you know, he actually let me get inside the car and rev it up and have fun with it. And so I got to rev the brand new 2020 GT500. It's insane. It's awesome. I'll try to find a way to post that. I got the video sent to me for whatever reason. I'm just having a hard time kind of downloading it. But I will try to find a way to put that on the Car 5 podcast, Facebook, and Instagram so you guys can see that as well. So you can see how it sounds as well at the same time. And last but not least, Exotics on Broadway. Oh, sorry, second to last, Exotics on Broadway. What a phenomenal event. Huge shout out to Mr. Ramin and Miss Amy and a few of the other members of the staff for putting on such an amazing show. Exotics on Broadway was just incredible. Over 30,000 people were there. Great day for the business. Tons of people, enjoyment, friendly family event. Families were out there, kids were all getting excited checking out the cars. A bunch of Paganis out there. Horatio Pagani himself is out there. Christian von Koenigsegg with a bunch of Koenigsegg's was out there. Just incredible, not only for all the vendors that set up, but for the staff putting on the event and all the cars that actually came out. So all in all, fantastic event. And just so you guys know, that's a free event as well. Exotics on Broadway. It's on the Saturday during Monterey Car Week. So if you can't necessarily purchase tickets, or you don't have the opportunity to stay the whole week, just go check out Exotics on Broadway on Saturday, and any car you can think of you're going to see there. And then, ladies and gentlemen, checking out just to make sure, again, remember checking photos so I make sure I don't forget anything. Got to see the brand new Ferrari SF90 Stradale on Sunday at Concours d'Elegance. Pretty amazing vehicle. Looks pretty good, much better in person. I thought it looked pretty cool in photos along with the F8 Tributo. I thought it looked pretty amazing, but again, seeing a car in a picture and online or on your phone and seeing it in person is just two totally different things. And I loved using the Chiron as an example because seeing it in pictures when it first came out, it was like, okay, seeing it in person made you fall in love with it. So big tip and piece of advice for you guys as well. If you ever feel like you're looking at a car and you're not really sure about it in regards to how it looks, not the performance numbers or the price, but how a car looks, remember, seeing it online is one thing. Seeing it in person is totally another. And that kind of concludes the episode. This was more of just letting you guys know what I did during Monterey Car Week, what I saw, what cars were out there, because a lot of these things we've talked about before, and you've seen them on the T-Alg articles that have been written for the business. But it's another thing to actually see them in person. So if you're a car person out there and cars, you eat, sleep, breathe cars, and you haven't been to Monterey Car Week, seriously consider it. Head out there, do what you can to go ahead and just make it out there. See what you can. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all we got for episode number 76. And is there anything else we're missing? No, that's it. That's all we got for episode number 76. Don't forget to like on Facebook, follow on Instagram. If you guys are checking out the podcast for the first time, you like everything you see, feel free to head over to the YouTube channel as well. If you like it, feel free to browse around. Hit that subscribe button. If you guys don't mind, leave a like on this video as well. You guys know if you ever need anything from me, just go ahead and shoot me an email. info@car5podcast.com. Now, last but not least, of course, don't forget to tune into episode number 77, in which we are going to be talking about the brand new 718 Cayman GT4 from Porsche. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Please remember to drive safe and have a fantastic evening. Thank you.